All right, let's get rolling. Shout out to the fan base and the students for making Dowdy Ficklen once again a home field advantage. Thank you to the Menzies for the drone show and the fireworks show their administration keeps putting on, and just a really good experience inside Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, and always a really good experience when you win the football game. So, a couple things I want to hit on first before we hit on the football game is just we also lost a really good man and a really good coach this week in Sean Clark, and one of our coaches Lance Wares was played college ball with him, really tight with him, one of his best friends, and just been checking on Lance a couple times a day, and really feel for Coach Clark's family and close friends there, and we're keeping his family and those close to him in our thoughts and prayers and condolences to that family. And it's told our players like make sure you tell the people around you love them every day because you never know when something you turn around and you lose somebody like that. And also want to hit on just salute the service tonight, military appreciation night. Thank you to all the men and women out there who serve our country, who protect us, and just a huge thank you to them. It's pretty special. Army came down at the end after the game there and sung the alma mater with us, and then we went down and sung the alma mater with them. And you're out there battling it out in competition, but at the same time, those men on the other sidelines over there, huge amount of respect for them because one day they're going to protect our country as well. So I just wanted to hit those things first, and football game wise, got off to a really good start. Proud of how we started offensively, especially 21-0, got to that lead, and just getting back after it, especially after last week on a short week. Just went to battling at it, and then defensively couldn't be more happy and proud of those guys. Shut them out in the first half, only held them to 6 points in the second half, and usually I'm kind of the biggest critic of the defense, but this week I'm pretty proud of them. And I think going just the history of option teams and being able to hold those guys to one score is pretty dang special. Not many times throughout my coaching career have I seen that happen. And a bunch of individual performances in there, and somebody told me we just had two penalties as well. So I just shout out to our football team of being more disciplined, being more locked in, and challenging each other. Yannick Smith after pregame warm-ups went around and started challenging guys. It's about bringing the energy and making sure we up for it and we're ready to ride. And we talked about this being a new season, and no better way to start the conference play than a victory against Army and start out 1-0. Obviously, got some tough ones coming up down the road, but we do get some time off now to heal some bumps and bruises and get rolling from there. So this time we'll open up for questions. Yeah, a couple of things there. I think I was with the triple option for years, and anytime you get behind, especially three scores, you kind of panic a little bit. And we told our defensive players like if you can force three and outs, that's as good as a turnover. If you can get a fourth down stop, that's as good as a turnover. I think there's some crazy stat there. 1-15, Army is, Coach Munkin is, when they lose the turnover battle. But when they win the turnover battle, they're like 56-3 or something. So something crazy like that. But we talked to our guys about, hey, those third down stops, those three and outs, those fourth down stops, and then getting the lead on them as well. I think that's huge, especially against an option team. It's huge any week, but that was certainly big tonight. Yeah. Yeah, know a ton of their staff and Cody and the offense coordinator, Danny Verpel, good friend of mine, safeties coach, Nate Woody. There's probably 7 guys in that staff that we've been good friends for a long time or coached against and saw each other quite a bit. So I have a ton of respect for them and the type of program Coach Munkin has ran there and done the job he's done there for the years. But you're on a short week. You obviously focus on your opponent. You got to get ready for, especially an option team is different, but you really got to keep it simple for your guys to go play fast, go play physical, and the way the game's played. So that's what we try to do, and our guys did a great job of doing that. Our defensive staff, shout out to those guys, Coach Aldridge, Coach Tesh, Magazoo, all those guys, Coach Zachary, Coach Williams out wide, and Coach Butterworth did a heck of a job. And I think they tried every single minute of the day to cram, cram, cram. We talked about all week cramming for a test, and they certainly did a great job of that and passing the test tonight.
Talk about how proud you were of the defense. Is that confidence in them kind of make you think, all right, we can go for it here, we can fake a field goal?
Yeah, I think against non-P4 teams, they've allowed one touchdown now, in 3 ball games. That's pretty dang good. The field goal thing, a few things on that. There in the second half, there's a few fourth downs in there. I think about the 40-yard line, we go for it on fourth down. You go through the analytics. Analytics says go for it, so we go for it there. And the analytics was saying really if you punt in the end zone, you're only gaining like 20 yards on the punt. And then we get down there about the 15-yard line, go for it again. and get held short. I think on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Told the guys on the staff, said, screw that book. Next time it comes up, I'm freaking kicking a field goal here. And it was like the 32, 33-yard line. It was going to be about a 50-yard kick, which Nick can hit. But you're more worried about what if it gets blocked. You're giving an easy score up to the opponent, the Army there, and they cut it to one score. And, we snuck Kyler Pearson in there. Bryce Weavers has been battling some things with his foot. Um, he didn't play the second half because it bothered him a little bit, and it's a little tiny hairline fracture in there. And he goes in for that play, kicks the guy out, opens it up. Kyler hits it in there tight, and then takes that thing to the house. And that's a pretty sight to see for sure. And that when you go up 3 scores, especially in the fourth quarter like that, they put the game away. And it's just kudos to Coach Smith and special teams coordinator and Bryce and Kyler, all those guys executing right there. Yeah, yeah. We talked all week about one night doesn't define us, but how we respond to adversity does define us. And Harold Varner sent me a text, just last night talking about adversity. Um, Mike Atkins talked to our team yesterday about adversity and getting your roots in the ground and how the wind creates adversity, all those things. And to see those guys respond. Kyler, had a tough night last week, as you said, and respond tonight. And every single one of our players did, not just Kyler, but just really proud of them as a football team.
Coach, the running game was effective in Garland, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Really gave you a lift when we came in the game.
I think that's the fact we got to keep driving. The thing we got to keep driving home with our football team is like, hey, I may not be out there, but I got to keep positive energy for my football team. And when my time comes, just like Marlon was out there, and he kept moving the chains, kept getting the first down, and kept running hard. And just, what Marlon Gunn is to this football team, it may not show up in the stat book, but just the type of person he is, the way he goes to work every day, I just can't say enough about him. He's one of my favorites around. And, he needs to keep plugging away, and at some point, just like he did tonight, he's going to keep winning us ball games. Just proud of him.
For the goal score for Army, Jamar Lewis had a pretty amazing puzzle play. He walks the guy down.
That's a heck of a job. Yeah. Yeah, 15. I believe his name is Noah Clark. Is that right? Noah Short. Sorry. Noah Short is like a 10-7, 10-6, 100-meter guy in high school and can run. Like you see every week, he takes off and leaves everybody. And when he broke, I was like, oh, we're not catching him. But Jamarly did, and just really proud of him, and just what an effort. And if nothing else, it chews up a couple more minutes down there, and we almost get the fourth down stop. And that's where Army is their best, inside the 5-yard line and short yardage. But just Jamarly to get down there and make a play on it to give us an opportunity to line it up again is pretty special, and that's something you can teach off, not only this year but for years to come. The effort he played with right there.
So doing my math really quick, for 5 games, 67 points, which averages out to be 13.4 points a game.
Yeah.
I know you probably, as a defensive coach, like to have 0 points a game,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think you're saying about proud about the defense for through 5 games.
Well, I think if we can do that the next 5 games, we might be okay. If we can go through the next 5 games and only give up, 13 points a game, that give us a chance to win some ball games down the stretch here. And, a couple weeks, we got to enjoy this one tonight and get back to being healthy and take some time off. But in 2 weeks, we play a really good Tulane football team who obviously played for the conference championship as well last year. I think they're favored to win it this year, and they're playing pretty good right now. So we got our work cut out down the road. October is going to be a little bit different October than we've all experienced before. We got 2 Thursday night games, no Saturday games, and only 2 games in October. So it's a good opportunity for us to, get back to healthy, get back to fresh, but at the same time go win some football games against 2 good football teams in Tulane and Tulsa who actually play this Saturday. Yeah. I thought like right there at the end of the second quarter, just didn't take care of the football. I mean, they didn't, and we stopped ourselves. They didn't make us, hey, stop us at the 50 and make us punt. We get down there in the red zone, can't convert. We got to do a better job. I think, on the one throw there, and then on the speed option, they zeroed out. Caton checks in the speed option you want. So, if they got speed option, they come and cover zero, and you got speed option called, it's 2-on-1, and he let the guy just get a hand out and flip it, and got a piece of it and turn the ball over there. It's the same call we had in the bowl game when he fakes it out there, gets the ball out. He done that a million times in the past. Just got to do a better job taking care of the football there and make them pay when they want to zero out, and that's the big if you can make people pay when they come bring pressure and zero out like that, then they'll calm down. But if you can't handle it, you're gonna keep seeing it.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you guys. Y'all enjoy your weekend off.
How was the chicken